Come now. Hi everyone, welcome back to the second vlog of Ramadan this year. I hope you all are doing great. Ramadan mornings feel different, quieter, slower, more peaceful. This vlog was on a Friday, so everyone was at home, still resting, and for a few moments, everything moves gently. Today, I wanted to try something special. My best friend Shala always talks about these steamed prawn dumplings she makes. She says even her kids love it so much that she packs it in their school tiffin for breakfast. And it's actually an authentic North Malabar dish from Kerala. Since we are doing the fitness challenge this Ramadan, I'm trying to include more steamed or air fried snacks instead of deep fried ones. So I thought this is perfect. First, I'm marinating the prawns. You just need some red chili powder, turmeric powder, salt, a little ginger garlic paste, and that's optional, and a teaspoon of coconut oil. Mix everything really well so the prawns absorb all those flavors. I've used half a kilo of prawns, and honestly, this was enough for 2 days because I always try to make just the right quantity for each member in the house during Ramadan. No overcooking, no wastage. Now time to shallow fry the prawns. Don't cook them too long, otherwise they turn rubbery. Just about 1.5 minutes on each side. And don't overload the pan as well because then water comes out and it won't fry properly. Meanwhile, crushing some fresh coconut for the masala. After shallow frying the prawns, into the same pan I'm adding chopped onions and sauteing it until soft. In goes some curry leaves too. Once the onion is soft, add crushed ginger and green chillies. I have not used garlic here. At first I thought of pulsing the coconut in the mixer, but honestly the flavor is just different when you crush it in a mortar and pestle. It's optional, but it really does taste better. Add the crushed coconut into the masala and mix well. Drizzle just a little water so it doesn't stick to the pan. Let it cook gently on low flame. Now I'm crushing the prawns. You can chop them if you prefer. I probably crushed mine a bit too much. Small chunks would have been nicer for texture. Add the prawns into the masala. A little more water, mix everything properly. My friend actually told me to add a small piece of tomato after sauteing the ginger and green chilies, but I completely forgot. So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of tomato paste here instead of the whole tomato or the piece of tomato, and it still worked perfectly. Let it cook for a few minutes and the filling is ready. One thing I never forget to do is clean the dishes on the go. If I leave it for later, the kitchen sink becomes a total mess. And trust me, after iftar, when everyone is tired and full, cleaning that pile feels like a disaster. If cleaning on the go feels like it slows you down, you're actually missing out on the later satisfaction. There's something so peaceful about sitting down for iftar knowing your kitchen is already under control. Along with the prawns dumplings, on today's snack list, I'm also adding an egg and cheese sandwich completely from scratch. When kids are fasting, I always feel like adding an extra love to the table, something they'll genuinely enjoy. So I try to include 2 or 3 snacks, or at least 2. For the cheese, I had some milk that was almost near expiry and I didn't want to waste it. So I heated the milk until it started boiling. Then I added about 3 to 4 tablespoons of vinegar, turned off the flame and let it sit for a few minutes. The milk slowly curdles and that's your fresh homemade cheese. For dinner, I made neer dosa with a very simple chicken curry. I wasn't even sure if I should include this recipe because it's something I make so often. It also pairs beautifully with ghee rice. I started by heating some coconut oil, added chopped onions and a few curry leaves and sauteed until soft. Therein goes ginger garlic paste and some sliced green chilies. Sometimes I add the spice powders directly. That gives such a deep, rich color to the curry. But you have to be very careful not to burn them or everyone in the house starts coughing instantly. So today I made a masala paste instead, just adding some water. Though honestly I prefer adding the powders directly. The flavor hits differently. Add the masala, mix it well and then goes the chicken. Mix everything nicely. Once the chicken changes color, add some salt and then chopped tomatoes. Let the tomatoes soften completely. Add hot water and let the chicken cook until almost done. Now comes the best part, thick coconut milk. Give it a gentle mix. And just when it's about to boil, turn off the flame. Now for the sandwich spread. Take the milk curdles in a bowl. Just strain the curdle milk well and you'll be left with soft, fresh crumbles. To this, I'm adding the boiled eggs. You can grate it or mash it or even just a pulse in the mixer. Add a little salt, some chili flakes, some crushed pepper. You can even add a tiny bit of chopped green chilies if you like a slight kick. Mix everything nicely until it becomes a creamy spread. You can add a spoon of mayonnaise if you prefer it richer, but since we are trying to keep things lighter for the fitness challenge, I'm keeping it simple. Spread this generously on brown bread or any bread of your choice, and that's your homemade egg and cheese sandwich made fully from scratch. Once the sandwiches were ready, I wrapped each one neatly in cling wrap and placed them in the fridge. This actually tastes really good as a cold sandwich. So it doesn't really matter if you make it a few hours earlier before iftar. Now for the dumpling preparation. You'll need rice flour. I used 3 cups here, and honestly I wasn't sure whether 2 or 3 cups would be enough. If you're planning around 3 dumplings per person and you have 4 members in the house, 2 cups should actually be enough. I ended up using the extra dough later for something else. You'll see that in the later part. Add some salt to the rice flour, then pour hot boiling water into it, and it should be in the ratio of 1 cup of flour to 1 and 1/4 cup of boiling water. The water has to be properly hot. That's what helps the dough come together smoothly. If you have a stand mixer, use it. Kneading hot dough by hand can be tricky, and the mixer makes it so much easier. While kneading, add a little coconut oil. That helps the dough become soft, smooth, and easier to handle. If you're a beginner, you can use a dumpling press or the roti press to flatten each dough ball before adding the filling. Just make sure you don't flatten it too thin. Keep it slightly thick so it doesn't break while steaming. For me, it's easier to flatten with my palms. Just apply a little coconut oil on your hands and gently press it up. Once filled and shaped, these dumplings can be steamed just like that. But if you want to take it to the next level, especially if you love the flavor of coconut, roll them one last time in grated coconut. Ideally, this step should have been done immediately after shaping each dumpling. When they are still slightly moist, the coconut sticks better. If you wait and then dry out a little, it becomes harder for the shredded coconut to stick. You'll have to gently press it on and be very careful not to break the dumplings. Finally, steam them for about 10 to 12 minutes, not more than that. If you over steam, there's chances they might crack or break. Since I used 3 cups of flour, I had some dough left. So I decided to make another snack. This one is my husband's and Arman's absolute favorite, sweet dumplings. The filling is just a simple mix of grated coconut and sugar. They both don't really like the flavor of cardamom, so I'm skipping that today here. If you prefer, you can use powdered jaggery instead of sugar, or even melt jaggery and mix the coconut into it. That gives a deeper, richer taste. Shape them the same way and steam again for about 10 minutes and they are done. Simple, comforting, and always a hit at home. The dumplings were ready, so I kept them in the hot pot to keep them warm. There was still about 1 hour left for iftars, so I started preparing the neer dosa. But then I paused and decided to finish it later. Later that night, I completed the dinner and we all sat together and enjoyed it. Let's nourish our bodies with balance, our hearts with gratitude, and our homes with love this Ramadan. Wishing everyone peace and togetherness. I'll see you in my next vlog. Until then, take care. Bye bye.